Hello and welcome to my very first Stampin' Up video. I'm going to be giving you a little bit of an unboxing of the new Stampin' Up stamp positioning tool called the Stamparatus. I was lucky enough to be involved in the leader to leader group that helped to choose a product to design and work through about 2 years worth of surveys and prototypes and suggestions and feedback to try and make the best tool possible. So this is, apart from removing the plasticky bits, the first time that I've actually really had a chance to play. So we'll see how this goes. Alright, don't need the box. So the parts that come with your Stamparatus in the box are some very important instructions with some great instructions in English, with the ones you really need. But on the back there are some step-by-step pictorial instructions as well. So that will be helpful for people who like to be able to see as they go. Alright, so parts of the tool we have. Unlike a lot of the positioning tools on the market, and there's quite a few, Stampin' Up's tool has two clear plastic stamp plates. They are identical. They are marked with an etched grid on it so it can't rub off by itself, and it gives you a total of 4 stamping surfaces. So they slot into the hinges in the machine like so. First one and the second one. Now I'm left-handed, so I'm not even quite sure exactly which way I'm going to use this, but you can turn the tool to be in whatever preference of position suits you quite easily. So these are designed so that only one of them can be closed at a time. So that's probably the only main caution, is that you can't close this right down because the hinges will be damaged. So it's not designed to have both closed at the same time, but you can of course have them alternately closed. And what I mean by 4 stamping surfaces is that you can actually have a stamp on this side, flip it over and have a stamp on the other side for multi-purpose or multi-step stamping, which I think is going to be the biggest advantage of the Stamparatus. So the base here, I'll turn it around so that you can see it properly, is a hard plastic polycarbonate sort of plastic with a grid embedded underneath it so it won't rub off. This is the metric version, so it has centimetres and across both sides, but I was actually quite pleased to see that it also has inch marks, because if you're a scrapper you're so used to talking about 12 by 12, and even as a card maker I usually use a trimmer with inches on it, so that's what I'm kind of accustomed to using. So both are there, but you also have a grid there that will help you line things up straight. Now the Stamparatus can use, or can take, 2 different types of our stamps. Probably the one that I think it's going to make the biggest difference for is our photopolymer stamps. So these are the ones that are clear, and they're mounted on index sheet, and they're very, very sticky, and you need to use them on clear blocks. So that's one type. The other type you can use with the Stamparatus is a clear mount, which is what we call the stamps that we mount on clear blocks, but they are still our red rubber. Now, as you can see, the stamps are different thicknesses, and the rubber stamps come with a cushion pre-attached, but the photopolymer stamps do not. So to be able to make the Stamparatus work well with both types of stamps, we have a small foam insert that takes the place of the stamping mat if you're using them freehand, or the cling cushion foam that's mounted to the clear mount stamps. So that's black. Okay, now it's made black so that it doesn't get all inky and yucky, but I've already seen a few sort of workarounds and hacks, I guess, out there in internet land, and one of the suggestions has been that you can take a piece of your grid paper and cut it down to size and use that as your stamping surface. So that's quite a good idea. So I'm just going to turn over and snaffle the next most important part of the Stamparatus. It has little non-slip rubber feet which stop it from sliding around on your work surface, and it has a couple of magnets. Now these are extremely strong neodymium type magnets. They have a little base on them. They're very, very strong, so that you can easily remove them. Now these magnets do have a lot of strength, so please don't get your fingers pinched in them, because it's probably going to hurt. Alright, okay, so the real reason you actually need the magnets is that you don't want your paper to move after you've positioned it, and the photopolymer stamps are very, very sticky, and that's fantastic because the polymer stamps will stick very, very well to the clear stamping mat plate, but they'll also tend to move your paper out of the way. So you can clip these down. Now replacement magnets will be available after the Stamparatus becomes available in the main catalogue starting the 1st of June. So it's a good idea in the meantime to be careful with them, because if they smash together very hard, they may break. Okay, so I think that's just about it for the parts of the Stamparatus. Okay, so I'm just going to turn this around to the way that I think will suit my left-handed stamping style the best, and this will be upside down for you, but then I guess that will make it the right way, so it won't seem so backwards. Okay, so what I have here is a piece of paper, the foam mat and the base clicked in as so, and I have my piece of 1/4 sheet of A4 paper tucked up neatly into the corner and secured with my magnets. So the first stamp I'm going to have a go at is the new Sweet Little Something bunny set from the new Occasions catalogue, which starts today. So that's what the cover is. This is a photo reel stamp set, and it's got 3 layers. Now in the past, the traditional way of lining these up has been either by eye or with our old trusty Stampin'-A-Jig. That still works, but it was still a little bit of hit and miss, and I think this tool will make using these kind of stamps so much easier and make it so much faster to replicate multiples of a stamped image that it's going to make me pull out my photopolymer sets a lot more often. Now I am a hard and fast wood mount girl. If a stamp is available in wood, I will buy it, but the Stamparatus has made me think that perhaps I might start buying more of the clear mount sets so that I can get the advantages of using this tool. Alright, so opening up Sweet Little Something, we're going to take the image, and these are coded so that you can tell which one is which. We have 3 layers, and the first layer we are going to start with is the solid layer. Now, as I said before, these are extremely sticky. I have not used this. This is literally the first time I'm opening this package, so we'll see how this turns out. Okay, so let's give this a try with the Every Bunny stamp set. This is a new photopolymer stamp set from the Occasions catalogue, which starts today. Here's what the cover looks like. It's got lots of new goodies in there. We might have a look at that later. Okay, so this is a photo reel type stamp set, and it comprises 3 layers: a base layer, a second layer, and a highlight layer. Now you can use the traditional Stampin'-A-Jig that we've always had for positioning these, or do it by eye, but the Stamparatus is designed to make it a lot easier to stamp multiples and to get the lining up much nicer. So to start with, I'm going to take the base layer. They're very, very sticky. Very, very sticky indeed. Okay. So I'm going to position stamp side down on my cardstock, which is positioned in the Stamparatus with the magnets holding it in place. Okay, so once I'm happy with the location, I've got the balance at the top, the bottom, and the side, I then swing my plate over and pick it up. Okay, and you can see that that made the cardstock move very slightly. I'm just going to prop that back down in there nice and firmly. Okay, so you start with the lightest colour, and I'm going to use Sahara Sand. Now this is an old style linen pad, so you will need to press more lightly than I do to get a good coverage of ink on the stamp. If you're using the firm foam, you just need a much lighter tap 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 rather than press, but these ones still work just fine. Okay, so now I'm happy with my inking up there. I'm going to position it down here and press. Now if I happen to be not happy with the ink coverage on this image, I could easily just re-ink and have another go. And I don't need to worry about any ink that's gotten onto this plastic because it doesn't come into contact with my cardstock. So let's just try again. Press on those lighter areas and get a little bit better coverage. Okay. It helps if you notice that there's actually two tiny little windows here that aren't meant to have ink on them, so that might be part of the problem. Now I can leave this stamp in position here because if I want to stamp multiples I can just leave that there for next time. However, there is 3 stamps in this set, and now I need to stamp the second one, which is this one here. So again, I'm going to place it stamp side down as if I was stamping on top of my other image, and I'm going to use those 2 little clear windows to help reference where it's meant to be lined up. And when I'm happy with that, I'm going to bring down my second plate and press that in position, and my cardstock will probably move out of the way. I'll just flatten that back down. Now I think for the purposes of using the Stamparatus, it would probably be better to not have this desk pad here because it's making it not sit too flat, but we'll see how we go. Okay, so the first colour was Sahara Sand. The second colour I'm going to try is Crumb Cake, which is a little bit darker. Again, it's an old style linen pad. Give it a good press. Now some people, I believe, use a brayer to apply ink. Okay, we'll see how we go with that one. Alright. Moment of truth. I think also it pays for these multi-step images not to throw it away until it's completely finished and dry, because sometimes what looks a bit dodgy while it's still got its blotchy wetness actually turns out quite okay once you're done. So you can sort of see a bunny is kind of appearing there. Alright, oh dear, this image has 3 stamps. What am I going to do? I'm going to take advantage of the unique ability of the Stamparatus to add a second, or a third rather, stamping surface. I'm going to lay my bunny on top, positioning the little triangles, happy with those edges. And to do that, I'm going to turn this plate around so that my bunny, layer number 3, is going to be positioned there. This one's on the top surface, this one's on the bottom surface. Okay, and just like before, I'm going to ink it up with soft suede with a little pad. Oh, I'm getting lots of ink on my plastic. Not to worry. However, if you are concerned, or if you're messy like me and you tend to get it on your fingers so that when you handle your cardstock it comes off on things that it shouldn't, you can easily get a damp cloth and wipe away any excess. That's probably safer. Alright, let's see how this goes. Bunny layer number 3. Oh my goodness. Doesn't that look like it's just popping off the page? Quite remarkable. Great. Well, as my very first time using the Stamparatus and the very first time using this stamp set, I'm actually quite happy with that. I think doing it by hand or with a Stampin' Majig would probably have given me results, would have me put the stamp set away and forget about it. But I think with this tool, I'll be able to make multiples of this stamp set quite quickly and easily. Alright, so I might just add a greeting from my stamp set. What greetings have we got in this one? We have a little something for your little someone. Happy Easter, hip hop hooray, sweet little sun bunny. Let's put on a little something for your little someone. Maybe there'll be a baby somewhere that I can give a gift to. Alright, so again, I'm going to position it so that my greeting is where I want it to be. I'm happy that that's straight, and because it's not going to be in the way of this layer here, I can keep everything there, and it should be quite clear how I could easily make a big batch of these cards if I felt so inclined. Now I think I'm going to choose my darkest colour, soft suede, for my greeting. I could ink that up with whatever I wanted. Now I don't want to get any ink on my bunny layer. That's quickly remedied. Actually, this is another idea I think I'll adopt for cleaning the stamps. The benefit of the photopolymer stamps is they cling so well to the lids, and if you're doing multiple layers and want to change colours, rather than peel them off and muck up the placement with your Stampin' Scrub Cleaner, you can actually take like a microfiber cloth and a IKEA plate, saucer or something like that, dampen it down so you've got somewhere to keep it, and then you can easily wipe off the stamps in situ, and then when you've finished your stamping session you can clean them properly with Stampin' Mist and everything else. But in the meantime, this actually makes a quick, easy cleaning method. Alright, so I'm happy that my greeting is inked up, and I'm going to press it down. And there we have it. Wow. Okay, thank you for watching.